Chiron is the wounded healer, and Chiron in Aries is currently going direct from its retrograde, getting ready for us to reach a pinnacle, a standstill of what have I been healing? What has been irritating me? What has been bringing rashes to my skin? What has been making my bowel movements hot and irritated, potentially full of diarrhea? What has given me a headache in my life? How have my hormones and metabolism been a little bit erratic? Okay. Discomfort in my stomach. All of these things are issues of Pitta, and Pitta is fire related. And so Aries is a fire sign, right? So Chiron and Aries is any of these irritations have likely come from some way that you have felt symbolically or physically and literally malnourished. So we have to go back to July 26, 2024. And I want you to just take a moment to check that out. So the best way I like to do that is look at your photos and see around 5 days before, 5 days after, from July 26, 2024, what was I doing? What was I experiencing? This is where Chiron in Aries is closer to about 23, 24 degrees. And then on December 29th, we're going to go Chiron direct. Now, Chiron direct in Aries is where we hit the standstill. And, you know, the days leading before, the week leading before, things might have even intensified because it's like, hey, look, you know, Aries is the kind of energy that needs attention and needs love. Remember, it is in human years, 0 to 2 years old. And a 0 to 2 year old baby can only nourish itself so much, right? Like, it can't take milk from the mother's bosom without the mother deciding to give it. And where Chiron is there, you know, there's the wound. So it's like, what did you in your infancy feel you needed but were unable to receive, as well as unable to provide as a form of nourishment to yourself? And how did those subconscious behavioral patterns, you know, in a sense, at bare minimum, feel like, you know, you perceived that I didn't get what I needed because you believe you needed something maybe that you didn't actually need. Understand that, you know, this is considered many things. It's considered the placement of the wealthy one, where we're transiting the sky. And this wealth is a lot of times about a wealth of nourishment, you know, a wealth of being able to feed and succeed within our identity. So, you know, let's just say if you were coming out of the womb and your identity, you knew very clearly that you were a homosexual. You knew very clearly that you were going to be a transgender in this life. But let's say customs and cultural traditional values say, look, from a moral perspective, we don't agree with this. We don't accept this. We're a traditional family. And in our traditional family, you know, you're not going to adopt a child from a gay woman. We don't care about blah, blah, blah. You're just not, it's not allowed in this family. And so let's say that that was literally part of your identity, but you weren't able to get that. This is where the wounds start beginning in ways where rationally, which Aries is a very technical and rational sign in its maturity and its adulthood. But before that, and why it becomes that, is because in its childhood, it is very sensitive. It is very loving. It's very nurturing. It's actually a very feminine sign. It's here to receive, right? Babies are on the receiving end of most things, as much as they also are masculine energies where they give, right? They give love. They give smiles. Babies give good energy, right? Meet any Aries, they make you feel brighter and lighter within yourself. So they give, and they also have an expectation to receive love, nourishment, and affection. And so Chiron says, did you receive what you felt you needed and what you felt you deserved? Because you gave so unconditionally, literally as a baby who doesn't understand the conditions and expectations and the societal norms and projections of the world. Aries is a sign that deals with a lot of projections. So while Chiron Aries is going direct, you'll find that people who are being themselves, taking care of themselves, loving themselves, nurturing themselves, giving affection and being honest with themselves emotionally and being sensitive with themselves, not being toxic with themselves, everything with themselves, those people who irritate you, that projection is your projection onto them as for what you need. So you're not actually angry at the person. You're mad that they're supplying themselves with what you understand you need. And because Aries is so young and, you know, in a sense, intellectually immature, right? It doesn't comprehend until it does, right? When a baby learns not to touch the hot stove, it learns not to touch the hot stove, but not before it touches the hot stove. 555 on screen. If you made it this far, drop 555 in the chat saying, look, I'm in the process of contemplating a big identity shift, a big change, a potential and seeming crisis in my life is now turning upside down, and I'm understanding this isn't a crisis. This is just showing me what I need, what I care for, what I love. And a lot of Chiron going direct, December 29, 2024, is about supplying yourself what you need and what you love. So let's go ahead and hit in some of the key critical notes. Okay, here on my mini notes, here's what I got. All right. One, you know, during the time, the ruler of Mars, or the ruler of Aries is Mars, right? And so during July 26th, I want you to hit the thumbs up and the likes button. If you're here, if you're brand new, subscribe. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. So the ruler of Aries is Mars. And now July 26, 2024, Mars was in Gemini, ruling the 11th house and the 6th house. All right. And so here's what this is saying, you know, the healing that we're going through, that is ultimately going to become our superpower, our strength, and way in which we serve others, the way in which we give in that masculine way, who gives freely without expectation in return. The healing is starting to happen where we're no longer trying to control other people's thought patterns or their fixations, in respecting what our fixations are, yeah? Nor are we trying to control their dreams or any form of mental dexterity. We're in this space of cutting away from trying to force other people to do these things. Understand that we want to become more flexible within the mind. And flexibility in the mind means to become forgiving and stop trying to literally control others, and instead regain that inner control within ourselves, regain that control within the rebirth of the identity that's true and means something dear to us. And next, what you have is, you know, Jupiter in Taurus. Now, Jupiter in Taurus, this is coming from the Vedic lens and Vedic perspective, where Chiron in Aries is really under an instructor in the sky called Revati. And Revati is the wealthy one, you know, it's the serpent of gods. And so this particular, the ruler of Revati would have been Jupiter in Taurus at the time. And this is about safety and security and stubbornness, equating to what makes us feel safe and secure, right? So any refusals to update your passions, the things that you actually love, the things that you want to hold on to, as well as not having the actions in preparation to match that passion, to match that dream. This is where we're going through a healing, where we're realizing the things that we want, we don't have them because we're not actually willing to attach to them in a healthy way, and not just to the thing, but to the identity and the updating and rebirthing and the healing of our identity, which means I want this thing, but my identity is linked to this music. So this thing, you know, this version of myself in the future does not listen to curse words, low vibrational frequency, 808 beats, and things that make me feel violent. This future identity and version of myself is actually very peaceful and loving. And so it's like this music is a part of our identity, the type of music, whether it's country or R&B or soul or funk or EDM, there's an identity linked to that where, you know, my identity while listening to EDM, I feel like I want to do more psychedelics and drugs. But the future version of myself is at a different level of peace, which actually enjoys and indulges in soulful music that has no words, which is close to EDM in that sense, but that does not increase my adrenaline nor disrupt my nervous system. And so Chiron Aries is part of saying, look, your identity, the shifts comes with everything, the music, the food, the dances, the festivals that you attend, meaning Thanksgiving and Christmas. Maybe this new identity of yours doesn't do Thanksgiving with the family because it wants to be in Thailand celebrating Loy Kathron, or doesn't do Easter because it wants to be in Thailand celebrating Songkran, which is a water festival, for example, during the time of Easter, rather than a religious festival to do with God, Jesus, and etc. So again, these are some complex things, but we're going through the healing right now at the identity level. Now, here's what else is next, coming from the July 26th, mental preparation to shift. This is what was happening for us way back then. We were going through a mental preparation, which is Jupiter. Jupiter prepares us to shift and to actually leave the suffering behind, understanding that much of the suffering in this particular instance is staying attached to who we were, not allowing who we're becoming to actually have enough space to evolve, grow, and shift, like I said, from a mental perspective. Now, next, we have the healing of the internal dialogue, as well as negative generational self-talk and the attachment to that, which is part of what is causing the suffering. So here's an example. In my family growing up, you know, my cousins, my sisters, so many people, they always say, I can't, you know? And so when they're happy and excited about something, they say, I can't. Like, oh, I can't with you, with that literal Ebonic accent where it's like, in reality, they're saying I can, but verbally they're saying I can't. And so that would be an example of the generational negative self-talk, where we're understanding it within our culture as, you know, like, oh man, like that's just too silly, that's way too funny. But we're not saying that's too silly, that's way too funny. We're saying, oh, I can't experience this silly moment in its full entirety. I don't know how to accept that. This is a great moment, and I'm afraid that this great moment is going to be lost in translation and transaction. And so instead, I'm going to have a subtle subconscious program where I don't allow myself to fully enjoy how gut-wrenching this laughter is, which is what? Healing, right? Belly belching type laughter is very healing. But if we don't allow ourselves to laugh entirely, it's a part of what I mean when I say Chiron Aries and Chiron going direct. We're going direct in our healing journey that says, I'm ready to embrace that. This is a really funny moment and I want to enjoy it for its entirety, and not let those generational negative self-talks, internal dialogue stop me. And so what's next is happening is we're in the process of liberating the soul so that that new identity can match. And that means that our old associations as well as our old dreams need to dissolve. Our old fears need to dissolve. So it's like, you know, for me, like I wanted to travel the world with my partner and I wanted to do it like this. And then it's like during this Chiron Aries healing, I realized, no, that's not actually what I want. Like I want to be in a set location and travel from that set location and return home to that set location. I don't want to travel for my whole life with that person. So that would be about letting go of what used to be the dream, which is a lot of what can create the suffering when we meet the contrast of, I got this version of me and this version of me that wants to coexist, but they are in the process of trying to cease existing because they don't mesh, they don't match, they're energetically incompatible. So now I want you to hit the thumbs up and the likes button and let you know we're going to move forward to December 29th. Okay, so December 29th, when Chiron goes direct, this is where we're leaving from Aries 23 degrees, starting back July 26th, and we're moving from Aries, more like Aries 16 degrees, 19 degrees. So we're going backwards 4 degrees, right? On the 29th, this is that direct point. So we've already crossed this in retrospect. But what this looks like is putting things into action, yeah? Now is the time to do the dirty work, because we have at this time frame, you know, there's going to be an aspect of Chiron and Aries trine Mercury and Sagittarius. So Mercury and Sagittarius is this energy where it's in the nakshatra called Jyeshtha, which is the eldest one, right? Like the king of the gods. And what that means is we have to do the dirty work when it comes to climbing the social ladder, as well as doing so in connection with integrity. Yeah, destroying our fears so that we are no longer afraid to succeed as this new version of ourselves. This is when we supersede and overcome the imposter syndrome. So, you know, it's like, wow, like, you know, I say I want this, I want to become this guy who meditates and sells and teaches meditation, but I don't fully believe it. I'm not fully dived in and dialed into the fact that, you know, this is worth what it's worth, and I'm not worth it. And this is where, again, Chiron Aries is saying, look, now that Chiron is direct, you're ready for that healing to actually take place, because now it's like you understand that you're deserving of the affection, the attention, the appreciation, and the monetary gains, as well as within stepping into the status of a person who earns financially what they are worth by being themselves. Yeah, because this is where we're at the top of the ladder, the top of the mountain, and when it comes to social integrity is one of the key things. But in this to happen, we must overcome the judgments that we have of ourselves. And so to just do that, just really look at who do you hate, who pisses you off, who annoys you, who are you judging. And if you can just say, why am I judging them, and be honest emotionally with yourself and be sensitive with the judgment that you have of them, you'll be able to release the toxic masculinity of trying to compete with that person. This is what Chiron direct wants us to do. It wants us to relinquish the competition with the other people outside of us, understand that we are truly trying to compete healthily with ourselves. But we have to negatively do that in order to kind of come to terms with what have we rejected, what have we repressed within ourselves. So the Chiron trine Mercury is going to allow our minds to shift and become more optimistic, because Mercury is now in Sagittarius, which is a very positive sign, and become more balanced in the mind and become more mature, mentally speaking, with that dexterity we spoke about earlier in the video as you hit the thumbs up and a likes button. So now we're in the process of being dedicated to our new beliefs, yeah, by honestly starting to look at our crap. We're starting to look at our poop. We're starting to look at our sewage, our dirty emotions that have not gotten enough attention, enough love, enough appreciation, which Chiron and Aries is saying, give the attention and affection to these areas of our lives. Now, the key is who's ruling Aries this time around, December 29th. Now, instead of Mars and Gemini, it's Mars and Leo, and it's Mars and Leo in retrograde. So we've already passed this energy once before, so we're very aware about, you know, the type of assertion is necessary. And I like this a lot because Mars and Leo is way more assertive in its identity. It's way more understanding and reflective introspection and introspective, because it's ruled by the 4th and the 9th house. So Mars and Leo takes actions on the things that it loves and cares about the most. That's what the 4th house is about. Mars and any 4th house connection is about, you know, really understanding it's worth putting this love and attention and energy into this particular project that I love, into this particular baby, into this entrepreneurial endeavor, into the way in which I express myself, full of emotion, full of passion, just ready to get out there and just be like, yes, I am free, I'm liberated. And that's part of that 9th house, of just being more optimistic on how we nurture and take care of ourselves, and being more optimistic with our projections of other people, and with the way in which we've assigned others to be our nurturer, our caretakers, in ways that is actually debilitating, in ways that are not supportive, and instead giving that same support to ourselves that we are expecting and craving from others, and then understanding that other people will respect us to that same degree as we honor our projection onto them as our savior, and understand that no one's coming to save us. We're here to save ourselves by being who we truly are. And so with this, it's about reviewing your misjudgments, yeah? And the character flaws that you have seen in other people, as well as the projections. And this way, we start focusing on an emotional assertion towards our goals, and understand that enough is enough. I am the star and the hero of my own journey. Enough is enough. I'm ready to support, heal, and nurture and nourish myself. And I'm understanding the projects, the creative endeavors that is a source of fuel, a reason for me to nurture, like a cow who only, or a mother who produces milk and lactates only when she has babies to lactate for. And so, you know, this trine for me during this journey, it's amazing, right? Fire's time to get active, it's time to get out there, it's time to feel vibrant, time to feel brilliant, time to feel ready, time to feel energized, time to have courage. Understand, I'm ready to face my garbage, I'm ready to face my sewage, I'm ready to face my, you know, repressed and unchecked, as well as malnourished emotions, as well as memories of things that I have done already in the past that are no longer aligned with the future identity that Chiron direct or Chiron Aries says. So it's about more inner control. And this is what's powerful in healing what we can manipulate. Not trying to manipulate others, but healing what we can manipulate. And what we can manipulate are the ways in which we perceive what we care and love about and why we're willing to nourish that thing itself. And so it's time to get very dedicated on the mission. It's time to get very dedicated and learn how right now to move in silence. It's time to complete your identity rebirth. Have that phoenix moment. Be reborn and choose joy, personal joy. And understand that right now, this is the deepest of satisfactions when it comes to how we relate, date, and connect in our intimate relationships with people, but as well as with food, substances, and our dreams itself. And this is Chiron Aries in the grand healing. So check out all zodiac signs for all 12 signs. We're going to do the forecast. And you'll have the timestamps below. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. If you resonate and enjoyed this and you feel like you want to join a community, check out our membership. We're always doing the next ooh-wee. Like I said, you know, if you want to focus on spiritual accountability and actually do the breath work and be able to be in a group, in a community that's loving on each other and giving affection and care, you know, sometimes we're down, sometimes we're up. 22:10 on screen. We're just connected, right? We're master builders within ourselves, and we're hitting some major completions, you know, as individuals, also while being in the community. So hit the thumbs up and the likes button, 2222 on screen. We're completely on track. Check out your all signs forecast and horoscopes for the for Chiron and Aries and Chiron Direct 2024. Check the dates, check the timestamps, and review what matters to you most. And I will see you soon. This is your AstroShaman inspiring brilliance with occult practices and spiritual accountability. See you soon. Chiron Direct for you, Aries, in your sign, Chiron and Aries. It's about understanding you can only control yourself. You cannot control the environment around you. You cannot control the minds of other people. If you agree, you resonate with that, hit the thumbs up and the like button on this Chiron Direct video. Chiron Direct for you, Taurus, is about understanding that your intimate relationship that you have with the subconscious processes in your mind are something that is going through a tremendous healing and rewriting the identity, understanding that you are not your lover, you are not your partner, you're not even your baby that you are raising and nourishing. You are one of one. You are you, Taurus, on this Chiron Direct in Chiron and Aries. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button if you agree and you resonate. Chiron Direct for you, Gemini, is about understanding that the thing you love the most, the thing you care about, the thing that's private to you in your own heart, and it makes you feel alive, it makes you feel like life is worth living, is also worth making the tremendous gains in the way that you feel is most necessary. And the identity that is required is asking to birth through you so that your long-term dream can actually match what you care about the most and not what the world, society tells you is important. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Gemini, if you agree and you resonate on this Chiron and Aries message as Chiron goes direct. Thumbs up, Gemini sign emoji below. Cancer, Chiron Direct has you speaking up and understanding that you're officially the authority. You're the authority. You're the authority. Chiron Aries says, can you heal the identity that your parents has allowed and even tried to control? How much you say, what you say, how you move, when you move. All of these things and elements are completely rewriting themselves if you embrace and walk into the fact that you are the authority. You are your voice. You are yourself. You are the courage it takes to become the healed version of you, Cancer. So this is Chiron in Aries. Actually, hit the thumbs up and the likes button and drop down the crab emoji below saying, I'm sidestepping my parents, baby. I'm sidestepping the authority into myself and my true being. I love you, Cancer. We'll see you soon. Thumbs up. Chiron direct for you, Leo, wants you to feel safe and secure and stable in the fact that you are one of one. You are who you are. Your identity has gone through a tremendous uplifting from what was once a very dark and scary narrative, but now it's a very joyful, optimistic, and radiant outlook. As you shift your perspective on what I need to feel safe, it is no longer aligned to the old identity of what you needed, but what you need today, in the present moment, in the now. All right, we'll see you soon, Leo, for this Chiron in Aries message. As Chiron goes direct, hit the thumbs up and the likes button and drop the Leo crown saying, I am king, love, or queen. Virgo, there's a deep suffering that's happening in your physical body. Is something that's gone through a lot of changes, a metamorphosis, much like a butterfly, as Chiron is direct. Chiron direct in Aries is a time where this new identity that's emerging, it might actually legitimately be physically painful in a way. But listen to those physical pains and what they're telling you, what they're teaching you, what they're warning you of. And understand that right now you have precognition. You can see the future in the present moment between the mud. If you allow this healing to come through, Virgo, at the end of the day, I feel like you know, deep within your soul, deep within your heart, deep within your gut, that it's what's best, even if it's hard. So embrace that. If you agree, hit the thumbs up and the likes button and drop the Virgo emoji below saying, I'm cleansing and I'm purifying. Love you, Virgo. I'll see you soon. Libra, Chiron direct may have you literally losing a partner, a relationship, something that you are connected to, even if it's a social value and something that is more intellectual and psychological in the spirit realms rather than in the physical world. Chiron in Aries has you going through a tremendous healing with what that thing is that you were attached and connected to, and allowing you to do it in alignment in a way that nourishes you and nourishes the integrity that you care about deeply within your soul. If you agree, you resonate with that, drop the balance beams in the chat below, hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Libra, we'll see you soon on this. Chiron direct for Scorpios is rewriting your identity and allowing you to embrace what's this new dream, this new path, this new direction, and how am I able to let go of controlling my connection and attachment to the old dream, something that is completely outdated. This new identity of Aries that's birthing through you, Scorpio, is nothing brand new to you as a transformative sign. Are you willing and ready to embrace it so that the new dream and an aligned dream, something that is passionately, directly affecting in a positive way you? Are you ready? If you're ready, drop the thumbs up and the likes button. And make sure you drop the Scorpion in the chat below saying, I'm transforming. See you soon, Scorpio, on this Chiron in Aries message. Chiron direct, Sagittarius. Your ego is undergoing the rebirth process and you're ready to move forward by supplying your ego what it needs, the affection that it wants, it craves, and that it desires, especially within your career elements. And the fact that Chiron is trining Mercury and Sagittarius during the time of Chiron going direct, your mind is changing and shifting, and you're exchanging, you know, an old form of control for the new form of self-acceptance and enlightenment. If you agree and you feel enlightened, hit the thumbs up in the chat down below, drop the arrow emoji saying, I am bursting through myself with this new identity. Thumbs up. See you soon, Sagittarius. Chiron direct. Chiron direct. For you, Aquarius, is about dismantling what was once a fear. And now that we're moving forward, you understand, this wasn't a fear to keep me stopped and trapped. This is a fear for me to actually increase and enhance my movement, my mental and psychological dexterity. Oh my God, I am free. Oh my God, I am free. Oh my God, I am free. Aquarius, if you agree, drop the thumbs up and the likes button with the lightning bolt in the chat saying, I am free, Aquarius, on this Chiron direct as you go through the tremendous healing of Chiron in Aries. Chiron direct, Pisces. For you, Chiron direct is about stepping into harmony. Harmony in the relationship with your shadow self. And understanding that this shadow self of mine is now balancing out, and I feel safe and secure within patterns and habits that were completely irrational. This brand new identity, as Chiron in Aries is moving forward, has you feeling safe and secure. And as a part of it, you are generating an income of nourishment, an income of wealth, an income of relationships, an income of harmony. So accept and walk in that path, Pisces, with full surrender. And if you agree and resonate with what I said, hit the thumbs up and the likes button on this Chiron direct in Aries. And drop the wave emoji saying, I'm washing away what once was. We'll see you soon, Pisces. Love you. Chiron direct. Capricorn, for you, Chiron direct is a brand new identity as for embracing your intuition, embracing what you cannot see, embracing the behind the scenes elements as well as shifts when it comes to my identity is not attached to accomplishment. My identity is not attached to praise. My identity is attached to what it means to love myself, to care for myself, to treat myself like my number one project, my number one goal, my most desirable and necessity to focus precisely and pristinely on the intuition, on the intuitive path, on the intuitive journey of what it means to love and nourish myself. This is a marvelous time for Chiron in Aries. I'm finally going direct for you to embrace that truth, Capricorn. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Drop the GOAT in the mountain below saying I'm on top of myself. And